Yeah.
What's going on, killers? Welcome back to the channel. This is Street Slayers, and I'm your hostess with the mostest, Killer Kurt. Oh yeah, I'm back at it today with the 8.8. Got it sitting right here. It's all wire brushed down, stripped down. There's nothing in it. I decided to do away with those annoying ABS sensors, and I got everything sitting up here. So I don't think I'm gonna film the whole rebuild. The reason being is that you know, everybody watches this and all of a sudden they're master ASE certified mechanics. So I will show you the main tips that I use. One being to mark everything the way you would look at it underneath the car. That would be driver side, passenger side. I also, let me see if I can find a light. Also took a punch and put a dot at the top of that one and 2 dots at the top of that one. These cannot be interchanged. They have to go back on the same exact way that they came out. So I have everything laid out the way it came out. There's the race with the shims from the factory. Same thing over here. This is all once again, awesome production of mine. This is all stuff that came off the Pinion. I will be reusing this shim. As you can see, it came off in the floor dry. I have a motive gear kit. Cooperate. You know, a gasket. You see, this is the wheel bearings, some shims for the Pinion, shims for the carrier. There's a crush sleeve, and these are the Pinion bearings. I have another one. This is Ford OEM, because this is Ford OEM. Therefore, I don't really have to worry about setting any of the I don't have to worry about setting the pinion depth and all that other stuff. Everything that I'm using, minus this stuff, which is not really all that important. This is probably the more important bearing that you're going to use. This one is the same exact one that is on. So you can't. There's 2 styles of bearings. I can't remember. I think one's Timken and the other one is something else. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But you can't interchange them without setting the different pinion depth. Same thing here. This is 410s. These are Ford Performance 410s. I highly recommend that if you are building a rear, to use all of the same products. I strongly recommend using Ford Performance parts, mainly because setting up a rear is very difficult. It's not anything that an amateur should partake in without somebody that has done it before or a very good reference. This is not going to be a good reference for you. But like I said, I highly recommend that you use all Ford stuff if you're going to rebuild your rear. Now, obviously, if you're building some badass, 8-second car, obviously you're not going to be using Ford OEM stuff. You're going to be using stuff like Moser or Strange or what have you. But with this, you don't have to worry about all the precise measurements. You're pretty much set up. A lot of people are probably going to disagree with me, but 9 times out of 10, I've built 20, maybe 30 8/8s in my life, and using what I do here is never steered me wrong. So I'm gonna get cracking and I will show you along the way. All right, so this is my new 20-ton shop press. I bought it from Harbor Freight. Got the old Pinion in here with the bearing separator ready to go. All I got to do is jack it down. Looks like it's doing its job. And it's going to pop off and hit me in the foot. I can already see it coming. And just like that, my the previous question, or not the question, but remember I said there was two different types of bearings. One is Timken. Well, this is Koyo. That's the two different types of bearings. This is a Ford OEM part. So the one that we just took off on the press, it should, let's see. Let me sit you down for a second. And see, Koyo. You could actually use this for your setup bearing if you were starting from scratch. You could just take a die grinder or a Dremel and hollow this out. That way you could set your pinion depth, but we're not doing that. We're not starting over. We are going to, well, I've already put the original shim in place. Here's the new bearing. And I'm going to meet you back over at the press. Of course, this wouldn't be my garage if we weren't doing something kind of the wrong way. I'm going to give you two ways you could do this. This is a solid piece. It's not hollow. Most of the time, you'll put a hollow press piece over and press down on the bearing and put it down until it bottoms out. Or for people that don't have a press, you can actually take your pinion and put it in the freezer, and then take your bearing and put it in the oven for about a half hour on 350 degrees. It's there. There's a will, there's a way. And damn it, around here, there's both. Now it is time to drive the new race in. That just pretty much is picking the right driver. Nope. This will be the biggest one I've got. Yep. That'll be the one. I'm going to put a little bit of lube on this, and what I'll do is turn on a light and alright, so what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of lube on that, stick it right there, put that right there, get that little handle, screw it in, and drive it on in. Now, of course, I'm going to need both hands to do this, so I'll see you when I get back. That race is in. Now I'm going to roll it over and install the other race. Alright, that one's in there. See that? Now, if you're wondering what all that is, it is Vaseline, petroleum jelly, whatever you want to call it. That's how I was taught to do it. Assemble it. Assemble your rears with Vaseline. That's probably the way I'll do it until I'm done doing this stuff. Alright. I'll put some gear oil on that. Boom. We used shim. And a new seal. Get the hammer and tap it in place. Alright, now that's all done, come back over here, take the new crush sleeve, put it on the pinion, and I'm going to install the pinion. Alright, so next I'm going to get the old ring gear off. I'm not going to install the new one yet because I want to get this thing. I actually bought new new clutches for it, the new Ford Racing carbon fiber clutches, so they will be going in. It's just gonna give me extra room to work with the ring gear off, and hopefully if my app is working right, the clutches will be here tomorrow. So looking forward to that. All right, this is pretty janky, so if you're going to use this method, use at your own risk. See, I already did that one side, but basically what it is, I just cut the cage off of the carrier bearing, and this is a bearing puller set. So this wouldn't fit around the bearing with the cage on it, so I'll cut it off. And so basically what I'm going to do is set it up, and I will show you exactly what I did here. This is the bearing separator and puller kit that is available at Harbor Freight for cheap. This is my bearing driver set. I'm going to use the smallest one, which is a 39.5 millimeter, 39.5. Now this will go through that. So what I'm doing is I'll just put a bolt in here, and like I said, just if you're going to follow my methods, use caution. I'm one of those people that kind of throw caution to the wind and don't really care. So voila. Finally, some stuff came in the mail today. I have a track lock rebuild kit. Basically, limited slip differential rebuild kit. But this is the badass one. That is the carbon fiber clutches. This is the bad boy. This is the one that you want. There's another one in there. And what else did it come with? Yeah, a new pin bolt. So that's good, because you really don't want to reuse your old one. So I would love to rebuild this thing tonight, but I have to soak these in that real stinky stuff, that the friction modifier. So I'm going to find a old Tupperware that my wife won't kill me for using, and I'm going to soak them down in some friction modifier. Got a bottle right there. I think I got a couple bottles. I got some other stuff somewhere, but gonna get these soaked in and come back out here tomorrow, get that bad boy, that one done.